It's 7:30 currently. I start work at 8, and I like to get to work a little early and do some reading. And I was reading. My wife and I are reading Phantastes together. My wife is probably the only one watching this, but we're reading Phantastes together by George MacDonald. And I was flipping ahead. We're on chapter 10, I think, and I was flipping ahead a few chapters, kind of just skimming through. And in chapter 12 begins with a very somewhat profound passage, and I thought I would just share that to my YouTube channel and maybe talk about it, share my thoughts. So, chapter 12 of Phantastes, he says, "They who believe in the influences of the stars over the fates of men are, in feeling at least, nearer the truth than they who regard the heavenly bodies as related to them merely by a common obedience to an external law. All that man sees has to do with man. Worlds cannot be without an intermundane relationship. The community of the center of all creation suggests an interradiating connection and dependence of the parts. Else a grander idea is conceivable than that which is already embodied. The blank, which is only a forgotten life lying behind the consciousness, and the mystery splendor, which is an undeveloped life lying before it, may be full of mysterious revelations of other connections with the worlds around us than those of science and poetry. No shining belt or gleaming moon, no red and green glory in a self-encircling twin star, but has a relation with the hidden things of a man's soul, and, it may be, with the secret history of his body as well. They are portions of the living house wherein he abides." And I really love that, because he's drawing us back away from the materialist idea. He says, "They who believe in the influence of the stars over the fates of men are, in feeling at least, nearer the truth than they who regard the heavenly bodies as related to them merely by a common obedience to external law." The laws of gravity and physics and all that are true and good and created by God and wonderful, but we in our sort of materialistic world have lost the wonder of and the mystery of the heavens, and we all try to plot it out mathematically, and we forget just what mystery there is. And famously in C.S. Lewis's The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, the main characters meet a star who is a person. He's personified. He's human-like, at least. And they're talking with him, and one of the children from our world says to him, "Oh," I can't remember the exact quote, but it says something like, "Oh, that's so interesting because in our world, stars are just giant giant balls of gas and flame." And the Narnian star says to him, "No, that's not what a star is, but only what a star is made of." And we, in our materialist world, have forgotten to look at things as they are, and instead are only looking at what they are made of, or what rules of nature work upon them. The orbits of the planets themselves are not just mathematical. There's meaning and beauty and mystery in all of it, and I think that's what MacDonald is getting at here. We are more interconnected with the galaxies than we like to think. The constellations mean something. God put them in that order in the sky for us. So yeah, just some thoughts. I found that passage quite profound, as I do much of MacDonald's writing, and I thought I would share it here.